connected with that part of your soul, consciousness, you will begin to notice whether you're if you're in a program, which means in some respects that you're asleep, okay? That you're not being present with consciousness. And, that depends on how do you want to become in charge of your world. And it's not scary because it doesn't operate through fear. You take control of fear. And you, as the consciousness, are aware that things are unfolding. And the more knowledge you get, the more it helps you to understand why you have troubles in your space and that you have some form of control of how to change it. Even you can go back and do retrocausality, which is to go back in time and to help your littles to integrate your shadows. And it's super important that you begin to, when I'm talking, I give you a glossary words to be able to connect, to move forward, to work with your consciousness. So we're helping to create a bridge. But the healing tools that I use, information was already on the planet, but it's just the way that I rearranged it so that it gave us more added benefit and growth with your choosing of your sovereignty and your autonomy. And a lot of your programs, the first 7 years, are going to dictate to how you respond in the world, to what energy was thrown at you, what energy did you throw off of you, and what energy is in the space. And it can get complicated, but the healing tools do not have to be. So last week was happening on Tuesday, so it'd be Monday, Monday for everybody else in the US. But what happened was that we had a lot of activity in the universe, planets arrangements, the new conscious level instructions. And what happened is that for human, it's not an excuse to people that don't understand what's happening. And it'd be like listening to people like us and like, oh yeah, it's retrograde. Oh yeah, yeah. Or any of that. But this wasn't retrograde. This was a new frequencies, higher frequencies that we're able to pick up from our brains, our nervous system, and it's doing a repeat. So whatever you experienced 5 years ago, I think it was 5 years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, I think it's 5 years ago, you will repeat, meaning the test will be present. If you have, okay, I'm going to try it a different way, I'm going to do this, without really changing the synapses that your brain has or the program has, and your reaction to energy at all given times. Let's say your environment is very bitter and your environment was coming at you, not just being present. It can make you have incongruencies in your body. So you can say, I am safe. Now, this is what you're saying in the conscious state. But if I were to ask your body, am I safe? So if I'm testing and I'm like, I am safe. Yes. But if you were to go location, I am safe at my parents' house. It would be a no. So I was not faking that. That one was like, whoa, wait a minute. So no. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to locate. And the way the body speaks is through meridians or organs and glands and systems and sensory systems and things like this. So I'm going to look and I'm going to go. I'm looking and I notice that when I'm talking about the liver and locating the liver, now I'm going to do a whole class on this. Right now I'm in an experimental stage and I'm going to check the liver. Okay, so it's good. But if I ask the liver again, I feel safe at my mother's house. No. That's what's called an incongruency. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I feel safe at my mother's house. but there is a time and space where you had an experience that said that's not true. Now, your nervous system is telling you this. Your nervous system is telling you this. And so if we were to tap in, so anybody that chooses to come on today, get a brush or something. I kind of took my brush over there. Good on me. So, but anyway, you can take something and you just lightly tap. You don't have to beat yourself up, but you want to create a succussion, okay? You want to be able to create a succussion. And you're going to be using your spine, okay? Your spine. So the brain is the one that tells you have pain. You don't really have pain. Your sensory systems, your sensors, your receptors tell you you have pain. And the brain interprets it, okay? And so your brain is the one that's telling you have pain. So if you have a lot of in your filing cabinet definitions and stories, because the brain is constantly hallucinating, filling in the next best guess. So if I look at that phone, my brain says, hey, we're online. Oh, that one's online. That one's on. Okay, yeah, we're good. Now remember to plug in. So my brain is helping me to do organization because I'm operating through the frontal lobe. Now, if the incongruency is there, in the now moment, here I am at 58, I'm in my now moment. And, but if I'm looking around and I see certain things, now let's say I went to my mother's house, I'm going to be perfectly fine. But what's going to kick in is programs. Okay, these are, so when you're a baby, you have all these neurons and nothing really connects. They're all lighting up all over the place. This is why you have to sleep to make these connections. You have experience, you absorb. This is what my parents feel. This is what my friends feel. This is what church feels, society, blah, blah, blah. This is what the TV show is teaching me. And so by the time you reach the age 25 or 30, you're pretty much in your fixed state. Not necessarily the fixed state, but you're in a fixed program. And there was these thoughts that you couldn't really think beyond that, and then you're supposed to age backwards. But that's not true. So we're looking at belief systems. And the more that what's important to you, especially if you're following love, you will have this ability to start to repair your telomeres, okay, which is cool. So we can repair. And they thought the neurons, your brain can't go any further. No, it can. Neuroplasticity teaches us. So we have a lot of science behind how we can, grow, heal, and all of this. Now, how does this have to do with anything to do with healing? Or in some people, well, you're a psychic. Why are you talking about something science? Well, I'm here to bridge science and spirituality, but use your body as the tool to help you not be so involved with the be in the environment, stuck out here. This is how I have to be. I don't want you to be just your program. I want you to be able to think greater than your program. And I must be online in YouTube. Nobody's saying anything. There it is. Okay, I just didn't want to show up. So it is super important that, there you go, hi. It's super important that you begin to understand that this type of healing, so when you are having incongruencies, this means the brain will probably go in the limbic part, the amygdala part, and be stuck into, so you got the emotion and you got the fear, and you'll be stuck into a memory, even though you're living in the present moment and you have different choices to make, your survival part will kick in. So what we found out through other healing modalities that other people have done fMRI machines on the brain with this particular tool and stuff is where it's active when you have when you have fear or you remember the time that you've been, you have back pain, or remember that you have the time that you first were told something very scary. And these parts of the brain will light up now. And like when I use success hope therapy, that is using the pulse points and holding. And then there's SP, which is source points and moving. Your brain, it helps balance your brain. Your brain is so important. We want to tell the brain it's okay. It's to neutralize. Well, I've been able to help people spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Now, physically, I can help them to some degree, but at the same time, I notice the pattern is that the body's consciousness brings it up. So I said, I need something more physically to take care of. So what I've come across was I already had the material, just have to arrange it a certain way. And I learned from other people that have done tools and things like this, and you make it personalized as your own. So I call it the pH balance, the physiology, healing, health balance. So your physiology, health balance. So if you know that potential hydrogen has to do with the blood and all of this, and you need it to be a certain way at 7.3, because anything lower than that, then the body will have different instructions when that pH is at a certain level. I don't know what I did there. And so it's either keeps you healthy, do the best to keep you healthy. Okay, I'm in this stage here, I'm not as healthy. But then if you get a certain point, then it has to take you out. It's not the enemy, it's just instructions. So your emotions, your thought constructions, I am a this, or I am. If you have incongruencies and your brain tells the nervous system this story, and it shows up on the body. Now, I have been doing ever since Tuesday. So Tuesday is that everybody is like, if you had anything happen that 5 years ago, hi Teresa, happened 5 years ago, then what occurred is that, let's say, because it was really heavy in the planet where the vertical and the horizontal energy fields moving forward and being these frequency points, it was like a reshuffling with the deck of cards. Okay. And it was everybody that were friends started to break up. Anybody that was in close proximity, groups would break up, people would break up, and the like-minded, or it was alpha and beta, whatever it is, things crashed and things separated. And then we had to go into finding our own space. Are we safe? And or is it going to drive us crazy? So, or all these different variables. Now we're coming back around, and that's because we live in a spiral. Everything happens at once, but everything repeats until we get the wisdom out of the situation. And I watched it happen through my tribal. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I said, so what's happening is everybody's getting in sorting hats. So you kind of imagine that you're in Harry Potter, you've got the sorting hat on, and everybody will be sorted. And so it's like resetting. So in 5 years ago, I saw the spiral of life, and it was going up. And then all of a sudden I watched it still do the spiral, but flatten out this way so that you would see other people's perspectives, perceptions, definitions, and stories. And then all of a sudden you can start seeing the polarity of polarized, meaning if I'm looking through this perspective, it's not going to be this one. And well, if I'm looking through this one, it's not this one. And then it was to look at how our collective values and our collective beliefs and our perspectives. So we got sorted. So I watched tribal, how everybody was being dropped and they got sorted. And some people could hear me, some people couldn't, some people were just, went back into their pains and suffering. Some people, and we were deliberately thrown in our perspectives. And then it was a test. Now, this original test, from what I can feel, has always been doing this through the collective for the long time. So it wasn't just personable. Okay. Personal. It was not personal, but it is, because where are you when the collective does its sorting, the shuffling of the cards? And so again, that horizontal and that vertical energy frequencies was to sort you out. Now, we stayed in the test for a long time. Yesterday morning, as I'm waking up, Australia time, I'm in that hypnagogic state and I hear the test is over. Now we're going to see the, what do you call it? The peptide, what do I call it? The drop. Yeah, it's a drop. It's like the, so the chemical peptides from the event, where do you land? So how long does these emotional chemical peptides make you angry or separated or judging or whatever? Okay, these programs. And so how long would it take before before it wears out, before you can return back to your heart brain coherence or your consciousness? Because a lot of people don't know the difference between consciousness when you put consciousness and conscious and unconscious and all that. But consciousness is, just think of it as you, as a spirit. Because when babies are born, their brain shows that they are really fully conscious. But that's why they absorb and takes the first 7 years of their life to do the imprint years. And then they do the modeling and the socializing. And then you wake up and they have to do these different stages. So I am watching and it's like, oh, it's back. And I've seen a few people just, it hit hard. I mean, I was busy with clients up the wazoo, and it was bringing up very much specific, when you're out of balance, when there's a defense, and then these people wanted to make sense of their world. They wanted to get back to that happy, joyful place that they missed themselves. They're like, I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's happening, but I'm not normally like this. I want to be happy. And some people that had physical pain, it ended up getting worse. So I don't know what happens with you guys. Did you guys feel it? It was very interesting. I learned to miss myself. Did anybody else even know it? Because see, it says live visible restriction. I'm going to appeal. Oh, it's not letting me push the button. Oh, what the heck? So I got it up. It says I can appeal. So I said I'm appeal. And then as soon as I clicked it, it just froze. Well, I don't know if anybody on TikTok on MWS Solutions can hear me, but I'm going to wait for it to catch up. Maybe that's the problem. If not, you can always come over to YouTube, subscribe, follow, hit that like button. I see a bunch of people in the room. Give me a thumbs up. So, so anybody out there? Yes, I just experienced that. So it's if you haven't noticed, it started basically in tribal. You felt the shift. It's so the question is that some people it'll just be normal. What are you talking about? This has always been a rocky space, blah blah blah, whatever. But it was extra increase. The test was here it is. Have you passed or you failed? Or have you learned to see what's coming up? So a lot of people are like, I need tools. I need tools because I know something's going on. And so they contacted me and set an appointment. We knocked it out of the park. And with the new tool, because I said during tribal, I'm supposed to bring in this extended tool, this another way that I do my stuff, but extended tool. And so as soon as I started doing it, a lot of people couldn't connect with that. Again, what is this about? Physiology. It is how the body's nervous system communicates with one another. So it's incongruent or autocongruent, or it could be congruent, congruent or incongruent. But what happens is when the nervous system is incongruent, it puts you right back into the prior past situation. So I can look at, and as I was checking, am I safe in my environment? So if I go, if I am safe in my environment, okay, so it depends on, unless this is where people get confused. No, so if I check, so I'm tuning in, I'm connecting, and I'm doing this, and this is what I'll be teaching. And once you do that, then you're going to test your polarity and all of this. Oh, who is, if I'm picking somebody up. So somebody's energy field is leaking. So the more you learn about empaths and your abilities and auras and stuff, you'll learn that when I say tribal basics, you'll see this. But I'm supposed to be this way so that I can feel. So I'm not me. I'm me, my consciousness self, but I'm picking up, my body's picking up, and it says I don't feel safe. Okay, so it's I literally, but people are leaking, and so my body is polarity, the main polarity is so it tells them, so I got all these questions, and I'll say, oh, okay, so this is what my nervous system does as a live example. Yes, yes. And so I'm like, okay. And if I said, if I were to want to correct this, so I can, and they're saying that if I'm just going to correct it with SP real quick, right, left, right. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to say, so it is the second burner, so it's my thyroid, that the energy, my body, my brain is scanning, and the energy that somebody is being. So now I'm going to ask, is it just in the environment? Is it thrown at me? So I'm aware of this energy field that somebody has, and my body is saying there's an incongruency, and I'm picking it up. Therefore, I morph into in a response, not necessarily match, but to morph in a response. So what I'm seeing is that somebody's going through feeling like they're an object, not being heard, and just dismissed. And I got to get my screen back. I don't know how to get my screen back. There we go. And so if anybody's feeling this, again, I'm not blaming. Ego would say it's blaming. I'm saying frequencies communicate. So if you bumped into somebody, all of a sudden you'll be either set off, or you're like, oh, this is familiar. And it could be a bad situation, but yet it's familiar, or it's a good situation. So then you are comfortable. So however it may be, I'm going to look. So as I allow myself to say, how do you want me to do this? They said, well, it happens to be the thyroid, and it's part of the deficiency. So if I were to hold with intention, I'm going to do SP, and we are going to just need to rub. So my polarity, my main polarity, the energy here is frozen, stuck, and so it's not moving. And so the first thing I'm going to do is check to see if it's a magnetic field. No, it's not a magnetic field, but I am not. So what happens is that my sensory system, my body will go into a stress. The body's consciousness will go into a stress. And I don't feel stressed, but my body is saying it is stressed. And I'm like, okay. So it's supposed to go boom, 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 start acting a certain way. So if I have any particular sensory system is picking up, and so it's going to be skewed. It's not going to give the truth. Okay, so I can even check back further. What age is this? And they said about 5 years old. So it's tapping into that Gestalt memory, that particular original event. Now, if I check, I'm back. So now I'm going to go a little further, and I'm going to find out, I am safe in this environment. Am I safe in my mother's environment? Now, did the people have that energy, but did my body think that this was my mother's environment? Yes. So it only took a second to, my brain goes, mother's environment, mother's environment. Okay, so then it went out and says, oh, yes, I can feel the energy of, or the belief, or the fear of my mother's environment. Okay, so then my body thinks I'm there. My mother's been dead since 1994, I think it is. She died. No, 92. So my mother don't have an environment, but in my mind, in my memories, in my thing, my mother, I've spent time I know the environment, not even the house, the location. I know my mother's environment. So if she carried a signature of pessimistic or bitterness, then my body is going to match and mirror or go into reaction of this. So if somebody's carrying a certain thing out there, in this case, people are carrying, I feel like an object. I said, is that my response to a certain thing? Yes. So I can even ask. So what was my mother's environment? Very manipulative. So, um, so if a person's story, you can pick up on people's story in the scalar field. And so if they've been manipulated and they are feeling a certain, like, I feel like an object, because it's very confusing. It's very much, so survival mode. We're not going to talk more about that. What's going to happen in this case is that I'm going to look at my body. And so I know right now that I'm me, so I can get a more accurate reading. I am safe in my mother's environment. No. Okay, we already talked about the environment, and I know that it's located in my liver, so I'm going to test again, and I'm not there. So then there's a very specific thing that you do. Now, I noticed that since my triple worm, my thyroid was trying to go off, I'll ask, do I need to do that? They go, just no, not just wait. So I can look for the signal, and which we can take care of. They said, don't take care of that first. I could check. Yeah, it's going on. I'll say, which one do you want me to take care of first? The liver. And that should help start calming that down. And so with the liver, the location of that has three places, T2, T5, and T8. So again, looking at the body. So T8 would be right in there. So you have the hump, and then you have just past that. So since I can't reach it this way, this is why I say get a hairbrush or some type of thing. Now I'm going to, this doesn't feel, oh, that'll work. Okay, but I'm going to place my hand here. So I'm going to use this as a magnet because the brain is in limbic system. It's not here. So if I feel this signal going off, am I in my frontal lobe? Am I in my cerebellum? No. Am I in my limbic? Yes. Am I in my amygdala? Yes. And so we want to get this. And sometimes you don't need a brush. You just use your hand. And then it goes T. So you're going down and checking out these particular areas. So you have an idea of where it's at, and you can just tap all over if you choose. You don't have to be completely accurate, but I can tell whether or not we have disrupted so we're creating a tsunami. Okay, we want to create the disruption. Now, if I check, I am safe in my mother's location. It's now neutral. It's now neutral. It's not about yes or no. It's about neutrality. Okay. So now I'm going to check my thyroid. I am safe in no. So triple warmer will always go off, but in this case, the triple warmer has 3 burners. This burner happens to be here. And so then I'm going to locate what particular emotion, and that emotion is manipulation. So I'm going to think manipulation, then check, and then Jesus. Okay, so now the triple warmer has basically the neck area. Okay, and T1. So it's in my neck. I'm going to just do this way because it's easier. And we breathe in and we breathe out. So now we're going to we're going to check manipulation. Okay, so now I'm going to check I feel safe in my mother's environment when there's a manipulation, and yes. Okay, so there's different ways. And so feedback, having you in front of me is different. But because of times have changed, and I no longer work out of my home letting people in, we have learned how to do it this way. Okay, so Davin says, hi, honey. Do you know what happened yesterday? My body acted like it was out of breath when I was sitting. Okay, so again, your issues that's happened. So if you think about like for 5 years ago, anything from there, this is what's happened. Wherever your issue lies. So it's not necessarily 5 years ago. So one of the main issues is, where does it lie? So we were sorted basically for it's been over a week now. And the thing is that if we were to have you go back, you'd want to go back at least 7 years for you to find out. You're like, oh God, 7 years ago, that's when da 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 da. Okay, you understand? Well, if that issue comes up, you're going to be put into your sorting. Basically, what you were thinking, where you were, who you been, not any of how you progress to the now, if you've done a lot of healing. So you're going to go back into that habit, that thinking pattern, that way of survival, because that's the frequency that got hit. Ting. And so then you will go back there. Well, you can interpret it the way you want, but I'm saying, and if you did a connection. So as far as getting a reading, just give me a few minutes. I need to continue on because I promised to do a show a certain way today. So my body, and so how would you know? Well, if you're not having a mental or emotional connection, and this is all dedicated, pH balance tool is all dedicated to those beautiful people that I know, those souls that were like, these tools work, but they don't work here. And so it had pushed me into a position of, thank you, Spirit. I'm seeking and I shall find. Thank you so much. And so I believe I have. So to measure this, like people that were in their crazy, and they could tell, they could measure. You could tap, you could do this. What happens is that all of a sudden you wait for like a 241, which is 2 minutes with your 41 thoughts, and you watch how it jumps within the gestalt to a different memory, but it's all connected to how that nerve is supposed to put you back this way, make you think this way, because fear is trying to run the show and won't let you forget or forgive. And that's not how we are supposed to do this new part of 5D world. So see, and I just know I can feel it being calmer. So this is where I'm in an exploratory aspect, and this is how it was. Okay, so I asked, so people that pay, so Evelyn was just going to pay for a chat, but I said, let me gift the other half to you. Could you please come on? And she said, lovingly, she says, yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask her if she's ready. And I'm not playing any favoritism. Spirit made certain people appear in my life to help me to unfold. And it was interesting, the people that showed up this whole week for appointments. And it was like, it's like I was refusing to want to bring this information to the surface. And when I finally did, they're like, oh, like they were like waiting for me. I was like, really? Okay. So it's not that I was dragging my feet. Oops, get the right button. But it was, I'm at this next stage. I needed to wrap my brain around all of my studying, because I love studying about the brain and the nerves and things like this. And all of a sudden, because I was being present, and plus I healed a couple things, the new tool with me, that they were like, oh yeah. I'm like, whoa, how cool is that? Now we're going to see, because she paid for to chat, but again, I'm bringing her on. I don't know how long I'm going to be. I just know that Spirit and I Spirit is teaching me, and this is the Spirit show anyway. So, of course, I forgot to record the first part. Thank goodness that it is on this. So so while I'm waiting, Devin, did you feel like you were scared to take care of yourself? High school, graduating, and there's that whole life thing you got to do after graduation. It can be a bit scary. Move to the beach, and a family did. Oh, so yeah, you had a lot going on. So your body probably would have a lot of fear. Well, it's not your job, hon, to remind me. I was going to do it, but the thing failed. And so I had to hurry up and get back to share, do this. It's complicated. And so if you go too early for YouTube, it fails. And so I was like, I think 30 seconds to a minute too early. So it's like, okay. So I had to shut everything off, start again. All right, so I gave her the link and we'll see what we go from there. And here she comes. Again, I really appreciate her, this is spontaneous. And I really appreciate that she was able to do this. Now, I have no idea just like with any other reading, I don't know, but they want me to add to the readings that I already do, but do it in a more of the physiology response. Hi, hun, how are you? Hey, I can hear you. Excellent. I was playing with headphones and this and that because my speakers weren't playing. Were playing up, and yay, they work. I forgot to check those. Okay, so you heard a little bit that Brenda's got a new tool that she's going to use, and so do you have your hairbrush or some tool that if you had to whack your back, you could?
I have an extra hand. It's a back scratcher.
I love it. I love it.
But I also brought my hairbrush to see which one worked better.
Yeah, exactly. That's cute. That's cute. Okay, so now what I want is that, see, because I'm asking Spirit, how do we want to do this? And I'm looking at what could be done first, and Spirit goes, let's talk about, so if I because I know did you say you had a cancer or some physical condition that you had in the past?
They said I had cancer. The right side of my thyroid was removed, and they said it was positive. Went back a month later and got the left side, and they said nothing was in that.
Okay. So right now I know that thyroid is it's this gland, but it's connected to the triple warmer. Now the triple warmer also has this, we don't have proof yet on this planet, but Spirit keeps telling me that eventually I'll get proof. But in the West, in the East, it is the triple warmer, and in the West, you could look at the vagus nerve. Now I'm looking at this burner, and I said, this is where we want to begin. So, and I'm like, is it sure? And they go, yes. Now, based on the successes, safety, security, stability, standing, surrounding, space, I asked you if you would be okay to muscle test, and you said sure, right? So arm out, thumb down, 2-pound pressure, and then you're going to do 2-pound pressure up. Remember, it doesn't go here or here, it goes here. So now you're going to say, I am okay with having freedom, and then push.
I am okay with having freedom. Oh, no.
Now, notice I didn't do all that testing thing. That's why I asked her beforehand. So, so she's staying in my 7th plane of the thing, and her body's like, see your face? No. that was fresh. Now, before you tested, would you believe that you felt like it was safe to have your freedom?
Yes.
Okay, so you're like, I'm okay with freedom. So the body says there's an incongruency. So if I said, all right, because I'm going to check.
I just heard you have to play by the rules.
Okay, let's write that down. I didn't even open my little book. But we do need to keep track because sometimes it can get like a math equation where, it just happens to be with words and thoughts and beliefs and memories. And there we go. Okay, so play by the rules. Now, notice that this is a strong belief system. And if I were to have you take your 3 fingers and just touch here and then let go and say, I'm safe. I'm okay with having freedom. Okay.
I am okay with having freedom.
Okay. So it didn't go down. Now I'm going to double check here. I'm going to see where this is. Now touch here, and say, I am okay having freedom.
I am okay with having freedom.
Okay, now I want you to take and you go down just below the belly button, like just
Okay.
fingers, and then say, I'm okay with having freedom.
I'm okay with having freedom. That went down.
The triple warmer, well, when I go back, I can check and say, okay, so freedom was the issue. And did it affect here? Yes. Did it affect here? Yes. And so I said, is the brain in the frontal lobe and the cerebellum? They go, no. That incongruency is in that amygdala limbic system. So now I know which burner it is. And I'm going to look and I'll say, okay, tell me what's going on. You were gaslit. You were gaslit. So the way people gaslit you, you knew it was not real, but your brain was like, I feel like I'm supposed to survive from this, but you had really proof. Okay, so over time, I said, so when did you start having the triple warmer issues with these particular areas? They said it was toward yourself and it was age 5. So your original root was age 5. This is when I said, so it was towards you from yourself or from others, from the environment. So the environment. So what does that mean? It just means that even if she left the house, or I mean, everybody left the house, it was in the environment. You have to play by the rules. So towards herself, these are the rules. Now, if she was outside or somebody else's house, she'd probably feel their rules. Okay. But in this case, these were these set of instructions. Now I said, this is what actually affected this. So you go, so I'm going to say gaslit. So now I want you to go and say gaslit, touch here in that crick, and then test. Say gaslit.
Gaslit.
And check here, because this is pituitary part of the brain, and say gaslit.
Gaslit.
Okay, now take and go down by just below the belly button, touch that, and say gaslit.
Gaslit. Yeah, all three
Okay,
of them down.
so her triple warmer is always going to be really going off. Now the triple warmer starts here and then it goes up and then supposed to come up and around the ear. Now it can go through the back of your shoulders. It can cause pain, but if it's on all the time, it's going to hurt. So her body's going to be like, hey, you're like, hey brain, why are you telling my body to do this? This is part of the root. So now let's go back just a little bit further. And I said, the triple warmer, did it start stealing from any other organ? Because that's one of the things it does. It said, yes, it took from the stomach, it took from the large intestine. So this is the first things it would do, would steal from energy from there. Okay. And so now I'm going to go, all right. Your body is saying, I'm incongruent. And I said, where do you want to begin? And they said that we want you to, it is about gaslit. It is all this. Now, you actually don't need to use your extra hand. You are going to tap, where my little notes go, in the cervix area. So that's the neck area. So in the neck area, you're going to go C1, I think it is. Let me just double check where my notes are. So you can do C1, C2, and T1. So you're going to be right at the top of the head, do both sides. Okay.
Going to the chiropractors for years. C1 and C2 has been an issue.
Okay. So when you go in, then you can actually tap these points I'm having you here. So if you go in and he says, oh, C1, C2 is out, you could go. So after you get out of there, you can go C1, C2. Now you're also going to include C7. So was it C7 or T? Hold on, I got to figure out which
You
one
said
I meant.
T1.
T1, yeah. So you're going to start at those two, and then you're going to go down just on top of the shoulder bone there. Do both sides of that. So just breathing in and out as you tap these. Go back up, breathe in and out, knowing this is about gaslighting. Ugh. I'm sorry, I just felt it wasn't saying anything to her. It's when the energies come in. And I noticed because of this, my body and is really picked up and is, oh my goodness. I actually had to stop a session the other day because somebody started to really spin. I'm like, oh, I can't. But I have now increased my ability. So now we've done that, and it doesn't take much, okay? But the disruption, creating tsunami with the way the brain is communicating with the body. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to put your arm out and say, I'm okay with my freedom.
I'm okay with my freedom.
Now, I'm okay with my freedom.
I'm okay with my freedom.
We know that that was fine. Let's go down to the belly one. I'm okay with my freedom.
I'm okay with my freedom.
Now, I want you to go in and say, touch here, say gaslight, gaslit, or however you want to do it, and then test.
Gaslit,
And then test here, gaslit.
gaslit,
And down at the belly button, say gaslit.
gaslit.
Now,
That
take your
was
hand
cool.
down. Yeah. So, what is your experience knowing what you've done? So, right now, we're just going to wait for the recalibration before you do any more. Yeah, it's going to keep going. And when I look at how towards yourself, you had to recall and do this. Now, if I asked, is she in the limbic and the amygdala? And I get no, she is more in the frontal and the cerebellum, where she feels safe. Cerebellum, sorry, no, cerebellum, and which is good. So now, at 5 years old, you heard I have to play by the rules. Now, say I'm okay playing by the rules. Go back out and say I'm okay playing by the
I'm
rules.
okay by playing by the rules.
Oh, now see, if we would have checked that earlier, it probably went down. So it corrected itself, which means now we're just going to have you test, push once. Okay, now it's a clearing. So push twice, it's clearing. And now we're going to push once again, and then we'll see. There, oh, just drop slightly, which is there's another spot for, and say, okay, so now we're going to look. We're going to look, and I'm going to ask, is it about freedom? No, it's by playing by the rules. So now, if I said, share, where should we go? Spirit is saying if she, oh, I should have told you to get your little sheet out for your alarm points because I can't find my, I put it somewhere. Gonna find it. So you just, so under here, under your right boob, just under your
Okay.
right boob, just place your hand there and you're going to say,
Oh, right side. I went to my left side.
go to your right side and say, I have to play by the, I'm okay playing by the rules.
I'm okay with playing by the rules.
Interesting. Did she get the liver? Oh, they want me to check you here. You're frozen. Okay. So I said, do we need to wait? They said this is part of how she defines, say, I'm okay being deficient. I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient. No,
Okay.
apparently my body says,
Okay. So it said, so was that a yes and no question in your head? Or did you
am
again,
I okay being deficient? I
okay,
feel like my body is so used to it that
normal.
the abnormal has become normal.
Right. And that's why we have a frozen position. So we're going to release that
Okay.
and then we'll go back to ask the question. Okay. So I said, Spirit, what would you like her to do? Spirit says, I'm glad you asked. You're going to do a magnet on the right side. And oh, actually, you're just going to touch here. Okay.
Okay.
We're just going to push in real quick, let go, and then test. It didn't go down. So now take your magnet and just do the central. Your central says I'm too vulnerable. So it creates everything. Oh gosh, that even helps with the teeth. Oh my God. Now after she's done doing it 24 times, she's going to push in the divot. Oh, good. Energy's moving.
I
That's
got
what we want.
thirsty. Made me thirsty.
Thirsty too. Ooh, that means you're going to get more electrical probably. That's excellent. We get the water in us. Now deeply rub that 30 times. See, I like playing with people because then we can get more in-depth information. For those of you that are listening, do you understand that we're doing the new healing tool and add it on to what we're doing? And it's called pH balance. And there, she's got it. Now, I'm watching all of this. So I'm going to ask, is there any more spot? They go, no. And if I were to check her here. So check with me. Oh, wow. Hold on. You're just recalibrating. Take another drink. We're electromagnetic beings, people. Point blank. That's what we are. Oh, I love it. I love it. It fits you. A white flower, a sunflower. I love it. It fits you. Did you make it or find it?
Um, the lady that did the pottery, she made a little soap dispenser, and I said, "Can you make me a plate, bowl, and a mug?" And she did. So she special. I picked out the color yellow. It doesn't
Perfect.
look that bright, but then white sunflower.
Ah, it looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. Okay, so arm out. Test your arm. Just test your arm to see if it's nice and sturdy. 2 pounds each way. Do it again. Not bad. Put palm here and
Okay.
then check here. Okay, back of the hand and then check again. Okay, so
That
she's
was stronger.
okay. Now we got to get that one to go weak. Why? Because one's supposed to stay strong because you got north and south pole. So you know about magnets, right? Magnets that come together are strong, and then when you flip it, wee, well, she's not doing the wee, so she's magnetically pulling in. So if I ask, what is she magnetically pulling in? She's pulling in loftiness because that's what's familiar. And I said, should we break that relationship up first? They go, well, that really helps her define what deficiency is. I said, is she really want to keep it? No, it's part of the conditioning. So what would you like me to do? They said, do a pH on it. So say, I'm okay with lofty, or hold on, say, I'm okay that lofty energy controls my world.
I'm okay. My body's like, no, I don't want to say that. I'm okay with lofty energy controlling my world. No. Like,
Okay. Let me just write down so I don't forget what I said. And that is very fascinating how her body's like, oh, no, I don't know. Because fear tries to control. So the survival part, again, it's not the enemy, but we have to be more than our stress self. We have to become more. And that's why I say we become more of a conscious, become a spiritual being. So now we're going to look for that. And I said, where would you like me to go? And they said, well, believe it or not, it is the adrenal aspect. I said, adrenals, okay. And
do
that
you
is
want
also
me to?
located, what's that?
I said, do you want me to tell you my experience then the
Oh,
last couple of days?
yes.
So
Let's
my
uplift it.
chiropractor does muscle testing.
Okay.
Okay. So I take this mixed vitamin thing that's called sympathetic balance, and it's for my adrenals. Well, I ran out of it and he didn't have any. He was waiting for it to come in. So I went like a whole day without it. And then I had an interview, then ran out, then I had another interview, but the first one I thought went really good, and the person was going to call me and told me to come back in for a second one. And she didn't call me on that Monday. And then at like 4:30, I found out that she sent me an email at 10 a.m. saying that they decided to go with someone else. But she told me she was physically going to call me and tell me and get a hold of me. And I felt the disappointment. And
Ooh.
then I went to that other interview, and so I kind of got it. It's something I want to do, but then it's something that I don't want to do, kind of. I
Right.
guess, but when I first saw the job, I was like, yes, I want to do that. That would be fun. So my idea of that job changed. And then that's when I got my sympathetic balance. I took some. Then later I was like, why am I thinking that? The first time I read what this job description was, I was excited about it. Why am I letting that disappointment from this over here interfering with what I want?
I think it's because of the deficiency that's in charge of you.
Right. But then
Okay.
I said I'm changing it. I'm like, but I caught it. I was so
I'm so
excited that
proud
I
of you.
caught
That's
it.
see, that's what's where your consciousness is saying, wait a minute, it's able to, you know, and for people that don't understand, consciousness is spirit. And when you are just a program, you're a program. So she's a program, her consciousness going, wait, I caught it. Now we're doing the correcting and healing, eventually it's going to be, here is your spirit looking through the electromagnetic guiding on the apparition, the ego. So she doesn't have to over-identify with matter to be here on the planet. And she's learning this. So now let's look at this. You said the word disappointment. So I'm asking the adrenals. I'm looking at this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the adrenals. Okay. Now, as I'm looking at the adrenals, they said this is where you're so used to the lofty duressing you. So do you know what I mean by duress? It's just push, 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 and you know what I mean? It's okay. So if I said, is this, what's the origination? They said when you were 7 years old, this is where it originated. And your parents basically displayed a certain amount of behavior that you would have absorbed in. And again, we're not blaming, but it was also the conditioning. So very much a very firm habit without knowing it's a habit. So, okay. What we're going to do is we got to get the triple warmer. So, or the adrenals. Now, what happens is that this is not just gaslit. This is a duress with manipulation. You've already gaslit. You don't even know. Somebody just starts doing it and you start believing their world. They put that seed of doubt in and then they start constructing your world. For you, it was, here's the manipulation on top, but it's pushing to get a hidden agenda that this person is doing until you say yes. Okay, so it's pounding in your kids, behave, behave, behave type thing. It's not that it's evil. Some people have ill intent, and then some people don't. Okay, but the way that you responded, they said at 7 years old, lofty energy was in your space, and it became a survival thing. So now that we know this, I want you to take and put your fingers on your temple. And I want you to say duress. Okay.
Duress.
Good. Okay. So yeah, she is back to normal. I just didn't have her do that. But so now I want you to take this and put your fingers here and say duress.
Duress.
See that? So it doesn't bother that burner. It bothers the way she thinks, the pituitary. So we have something called the HPA. It's hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals. And this is an axis that's supposed to be about a stress. It's supposed to keep you safe. But yet if it's stressed or the communications are not communicating, you are going to get what we're getting here. So now what I want you to do is I want you to go down by the belly button, just below it, and say duress.
Duress.
So we know it's the HPA. So the pituitary is getting not quite false information, but the brain is scanning and says, yeah, I know that one. They're doing it. I don't want to do it. But the body is still going to react, like I showed you in the beginning of the thing. So what we're going to have you do is this is in the T7, 9, and 11 areas. So you're talking about just past the hump. And this is where you're probably going to have to use your handy dandy tool.
Okay.
So those that are
T7
looking.
and T9.
Yeah. This one. And so we got 7, 9, and 11.
Oh, and 11. Okay.
7, 9, and 11. Okay. And so you're going to think duress, feel it, breathe in and out 3 times, and then really get in there. And this is sometimes where if I can get low enough, I can just use my fist. But if I can't, then I use my handy dandy little thing and to create some form of succussion. Okay. Doesn't have to be hard. We're not here to cause damage. Ooh, it's interesting. My back just wanted to crack, but it was like, I can't. Oh. All right, well, that did. So my body again is doing this mirror thing so that I can, tell, has she hit the right spots? Yeah, she has. So she's doing good. She needs, so 7, 9, 11, she's doing really well. Now I noticed some tight energy around, not where the breast, the bottom of the bra. Okay, but I feel like instead of just saying that's the bra's fault, I feel how energy is like, and if you look, that the adrenals sit right on top of your kidney area. Okay. Okay. So when you're done, let me know.
I'm done.
Very good, very good. Now, what's interesting is I just watched this. As soon as you balance that, this one lit up. So let's check it. Bring your arm out. We know that we knew it was pituitary. Do this and say duress.
The rest.
Okay. Now, because I know that it jumped, it would mean it didn't jump. It is so this area lit up because it's also equal to this particular Gestalt memory. I just want you to touch here and say duress. I'm just curious.
The rest.
Okay. Now I'm going to see if you are now frozen, which you are. So we could test that if you want, or just let it go. But I'm going to put your body back into the brain to accept this change. They said it's recalibrating, but it is you going, so your perspective on deficient or feeling deficient or being deficient is such a survival thing. It's like, are you willing to give it up? Who would I be without it? And so the body then says, I don't know if I feel safe. So now my question then, say, I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient.
So that's where we have to go. Okay, so she's locked. I could go in and interrupt, but it's not going to take care of the root or the long times, because we want to start to get it out of the body. Give me a second here. There we go. And so what we're going to have you do is I want you to touch here, and I want you to say, I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient. Oh, that time it was strong.
Interesting. So it's not that spot. Try this one.
I'm okay being deficient. Okay, that
That's
one
where it's
went.
at. So I knew it was one of those. So I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. I want you to take and tap C1. Is that the one you want me to do? Yes. No. Hold on. I want you to go T3 and T6. So go down in the spine. It's the upper part. So we have the upper part here, T3 and T6 before you get down to the hump. See, now I feel her back going, oh, this is better. This is better. Very good. Now, as we, sometimes we have to wait and sometimes we don't have to with the recalibration, but bring your arm out and put your finger here and say, I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient.
Now, we're going to say, I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient.
Okay, so that means it's somewhere else. So we are going to look at this again. So in this point, I'm going to look deeper into the governing, and it is, I'm in an arrested development. Okay, so say, I'm okay being in an arrested development. Let's see what happens.
I'm okay being in arrested development.
Okay, she already knew. She's like, yeah. Okay, so now what's happening is that we are going to locate the fact. Well, we know where it is. We know it's a governing spot here. So she can say the same phrase, I'm okay being deficient, and touch her governing spot and muscle test. Okay, so she can do that.
I'm okay being
Touch
deficient.
here. Yep,
Oh,
touch here and say, I'm
okay.
okay being deficient. So now touch this one. I'm going to see if it moved.
I'm okay being deficient.
Oh, interesting. So did you lock up again? You locked up again. Okay, you locked up again. So you really want to hold on to this. Is it safe for us to remove this safety blanket? Is it okay to bring this into congruence, to being congruent? Yes. Okay, so we got permission. And I said, do you want us to do? And they said, no, continue with the pH. And I said, okay. They said, but what we want you to do is take your hand and then go down to the under the right boob, touch there, and say, where did my happy go? And then test it.
Where did my happy go?
It's not too bad. Say arrested development with the touch here and say touch the spleen again, saying arrested development. Okay, so now we got invading energies that are crossing. Her body's like, ugh. So with that, we are going to have we're going to just tap T1 and then T5 and then T9. So for people that are following along, T1 is at the top and then T5 is right here and T9 is down a little bit lower. And she's just going to get in there and tap away as she's thinking, because we want the disruption. We want the tsunami energy. We want that the brain, because the brain is what tells you, it helps you create illusions. It's like, I can tell you that you're in, pain, but there really is no pain. The brain is the one that gets the signals from the body. So if it's not touching something, like hot, but it is touching energy, you just can't see it, but the body still is going to respond from the environment. Okay. Now, you're going to go back under the right boob and you're going to say arrested development.
Arrested development.
Very good. Now we're going to go, where would you like her to go? Go up and say, I'm okay being deficient.
I'm okay being deficient.
Yeah, it's much stronger. All right, say, I'm okay being in arrested development.
I'm okay being in arrested development.
All right, here you go. Now, do you notice that your head is different all of a sudden? I mean, I'm literally feeling like your seventh chakra says, I'm okay. And I really feel like your HPA axis is not misfiring. I feel like it's more stable. But you may not be aware of it. Now, how we can test these is not just through muscle testing, but you will go out because according to certain fMRI machines, it shows that the brain changes. And there has been a certain philosophy of belief system in certain areas of how we do these healing tools that it's more of a permanent solution. So I noticed, okay? I noticed that I didn't respond the same way. Life didn't have to show up the same way, and I became fairly aware of what I was working on. So it helps change perceptions and allows you to become more your consciousness self. Thank you so much for coming.
Good question.
Yeah.
So what I've been noticing lately is car alarms. Alarms keep going off around me.
Okay, so
and I said to myself, what is alarming?
Right. Very good. Very good. So if I asked your body, so if I said, like, what is alarming? So I'm just going to go through car alarms. Where is alarming? I want you to take your finger notch, touch here where your stomach would be, and you're just going to say, startled, and then test.
Startled.
Okay, it's not that one. Okay, so then I'm going to go with the one I first thought, but I didn't see, anxiety. Just say anxiety.
Anxiety.
Oh, interesting. It says it's in the stomach, so I'm irrelevant.
I'm irrelevant.
Okay, so now here's the thing. This goes back to a particular memory when you're about 3 years old and you were irrelevant and there was an emergency going off. So then the question then becomes, is the alarms in the environment? In this case, we're going to check, okay? Your body says, is the alarm, we're going to use this as a yes and no.
Okay.
Is it the alarm in the environment? And we're going to check. And so she's going to check.
Is an alarm in the environment?
Yes. So even though it looks like yes and no, I know what that means. I'll teach that later. So then I said, is the alarm coming at you? And we're going to check
that. Is the alarm coming at me? No.
Okay. Is the alarm coming from me? And
I can
again,
tell you that is an alarm coming from me.
so,
Yes, I feel that it is because I feel I'm getting in my own way.
okay, so she has alarm in the environment and not necessarily aimed at her. So we got that there was a no. So there was a yes, yes, no. Okay. And the other one was I'm giving my response. So I'm going to take and have you, we're going to have you tap T8. So it's in the lower part, T8, 10, and 12. So they're two apart. So 8, 10, and 12. This is where you're going to be
Okay.
tapping, breathe in and out, and just kind of look at the alarm. Know how you, and then how you, ooh. Okay. Oh, well, you had a pain in your shoulder or wherever your chiropractic works on, but I just had a release from this. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, great. Whew. Now, what I need from you is to just breathe for a second or two. Just breathe for a second too, and then I want you to touch the stomach area, and then you're going to say, "Alarms in my environment."
Alarms in my environment.
Say, "Alarm from me."
Alarm for me.
Okay, now the body is going to restabilize. So again, you now consciously have to decide when you hear it that, oh, I'm not affected. Please witness. But if you're still jumping, that means there might be something else in a different Gestalt memory. But at the same time, begin to notice if life is good, you got to witness, you got to see it, because this is about enfoldment so that the nervous system is staying neutralized, because as you work with the way things are. Okay.
Huh. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
you are welcome. Did you enjoy this?
Yes,
Did you
I
feel like it did something?
yes, I feel it just a more clearer outlook. Like
Okay, so we can look forward to that. Did you like the fact that because you knew how to muscle test to some degree, you know what I mean? Did you?
I was surprised on some of my answers.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because you literally thought, oh, it's going to be, oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do all one. I'm going to do, I got several things I want to do. There's certain programs that I want to do, but we're going to have fun tomorrow in tribal as well. So
All right. Thank you.
thank you so much. I was thought, who's going to volunteer for me today? And you just happened to show up. And I thought, okay, I'm going to ask if she just can go that little extra mile. And I appreciate that.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you
All
very
right. Well,
much.
you're welcome. I'll talk to you later, babe. Love you. Bye. Okay. Did you learn something? So, again, last week was everybody was going in their sorting houses. It's just like Harry Potter. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that this is happening? And it was. And this is where social skills and everything else is going to split people. You're going to see enemies. But what it is a test. It was, how did you respond? Did you really get over the incident? So it's like, what happened to you? Well, 5 years ago, baby. I don't know what number yours would be, but you're going, nah, 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 nah. And it's like, that's one hell of a long time to hold this particular instance. That means it's unresolved. It's a continued story. And you have to show up and say, do I want to take care of this? Okay. And you can. We are more, the pH balance, MWS's pH balance is to help the physiology on the physical to, whew, so you have spiritual, mental, emotional, and spiritual or physical. These four bodies we've got tools for. Now you just have to be home. You just have to be home. You have to begin to notice what you're thinking and doing without judging yourself, without hurting yourself, without going into that stage. So it's going to be very fascinating to work with you and develop with you. All righty. I think I just got a message that somebody just Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. Okay, Miss Teresa Perkins, I think you're on that screen. Are you able? Oh, she's gone. Are you able to come on now? Because a pay it forward from Miss April, the one you just saw, had donated money so that Miss TP could get a chat. But then I asked TP if she would love to come on or any of this stuff, but she hasn't noticed that I sent her a message. And she may have gotten off already. I don't know. Oh, I thought maybe she looked. I just checked and she hadn't seen what I wrote. Miss Teresa Perkins, are you present? Are you here? Okay. And if you want to get on this deal, you do not have to pay the video. You can just pay chat and I can work with you. She had internet. I saw her on Facebook, and then okay, she says here, Miss Teresa, go look at the messenger I sent you because I asked a few things. You got a pay it forward from Miss April, and I asked if you could come on, and I don't know if you have internet, and if you can't, that's fine. But I really wanted to help you move into because of the physical form. I wanted to see how well this tool works with you. Okay, she said, okay. So she was watching, so she knows that she probably needs a hairbrush or something to tap with. And let me just get the link and we will go from there. Now, again, even if I can't get video because she doesn't have the best internet, it doesn't matter if I have video, but at least I have audio. This is why we can have a better, clearer communication. That's always good. There you are. Okay, so I'm going to send this here and send that off. How are we all doing? If you like the show, thumbs up and subscribe. That helps. And all these other platforms, share out if you can. If you've never had a reading from me before, you can have one. But so we'll see what happens. If you would like to watch old shows or any of my shows, they're free to watch on YouTube under Medicine Woman Solution, and you can watch all of my past Medicine Woman Solution shows. Okay. Any questions? Anybody getting this? Anybody understand? Some people have worked with me with already. It's well, thank you. I appreciate that, Davin, being able to comment on that. I'll have to look later. But Davin, so while I'm waiting for Miss Teresa, because sometimes her internet doesn't come through, when we look at, because you have these interesting questions sometimes that has to do with what happened last night. It just seemed so you are communicating with your reality. In this case, you are responding of, oh, it got my attention. And what came in your space was an energy of confusion. And I said it was something specific. They said, no, it is actually a state of confusion. And I said this is connected back to 7 years ago. And you said somebody died there. And I said, is that related to why there was a state of confusion? Yes. And then the confusion of here I graduated, this is happening, we moved. So you have so many things that would cause you to feel this. So I thought, thinking that if you wanted to begin to heal it, would be right wrist, second position, deep for Miss Davin. And if you really want to watch this again, look at the timestamp and your name and your timestamp, and you can go to YouTube and Medicine Woman Solution and watch it. Hi. Oops, we got to get the volume right. Hi, honey. Hi.
How are you?
Oh, thank you so
totally missed
much.
your message.
That's okay. But no, so you got a gift, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to gift the rest because I appreciate you working with me. And let's see what we can find out for you. Now, you were diagnosed with sore joints. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry.
Yeah, a few.
Just
Sure. It's Sjogren's,
Coherence.
erythromyalgia,
Okay.
fibromyalgia, a whole bunch.
Okay. So we're
Algias.
Belgian. So we live unknown source of pain. So her brain is telling her body that this is the way it is. We're going to be looking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask straight out with the sojourns. They said this is what they want you to do. And they are, okay. So I'm looking at contempt, and I'm looking how it is coming at you, from you, from them. So it's from them. So it is it also in the environment? Yes. So it's a constant state of unhealthy environment of how people just they're in their moods.
Yeah.
It also is directed at you. I said the sojourns has a original root, and they said, yes, 3 years old. So at 3 years old is when it started to begin. I said, what happened at 3 years old that ended up, that if your diagnosis says there was just no stability? And I said, I go mental, emotional, financial. So there was a lot of financial issues. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
If I look at financials, I keep spelling it wrong. Okay, let's try it again.
Definitely.
Been writing physiology that my brain wants to do PH. It knows better.
I was just thinking of that the other day too. I remember being scared because they didn't have much money. I remember the bank was supposed to be coming over to assess the house, and I was terrified as a little kid. So yes, that all makes sense.
Okay, so this is not even yours, correct? So notice that certain energies is not hers. Now the environment happens, she experienced. Now I'm going to look at this, and we know that it's a money issue. We're going to do it a little bit. Okay. Okay, so do you know how to muscle test? I can't quite see you. So
I know how to, but I am not good at the actual muscle testing.
All right, so let me see. Can you do, you know what 2 fingers are? You just push down, right? So 2-pound pressure, and then this here is 2-pound pressure up. So the same pressure against each other, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so elbow out. You don't want those fluffy. So usually thumb down because we want to isolate the muscle, and then you just push. That's all you do. Okay? Yeah. Now, I'm going to check you and see how the rest of you is doing. And those are good. So I won't worry about that. So just now say, I'm okay in financial instability.
I'm okay in financial instability. When you said to say that, honestly, I was thinking about even up to this moment, financial issues and stuff.
Did the arm stay strong or go weak?
Do I have to push down the whole time, or do I do a yes or no with that?
I don't want you to count. You don't need to count. So just check real quick. Okay. Say now you're a little nervous. It's okay.
So so I say that I'm okay with instability, and then
I'm okay with financial instability.
And then I push. Okay, I'm okay with financial instability. I kind of did a little bob down.
So I watched her nervous system lock. Okay, and I said, so now I'm going to check. She gets muddled. So she literally gets muddled. And I said, here, your 2 poles literally become muddled. And so she's not able to check. So I can't give her what I give in April, but that's okay. Now I'm going to ask, is it okay with permissions to be? Yes. Okay. So I can tell you if I were to represent as a mirror image of her. So I'm looking and say, okay, I'm going to do me first. Okay. So you guys understand this is me. I'm okay with financial instability. Yes, that doesn't mean, oh my God, I'm going to have financial instability. But what her brain, with the fear, with the body's consciousness is saying, if I say yes to that, then I'm supposed to have more of it. And so it locks into a fear state that you're going to not be able to protect yourself. And it's like, this is not what it is. So I now say, if I were to mirror the fact, this is the answer we're going to get. So I'm not tapping into, it's a mirror effect. You understand? Yeah. So we're talking with entanglement. 100%. But I'm not affecting her field. So in this case, my own field. So I'm looking at her going, I'm okay with financial instability. And it's no. So she's incongruent. Part of her is like, yeah, I could. No, don't you. So in this
Yeah.
case, I'm going to look a little further, and I'm going to say lung, thyroid, heart, liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas,
The
spleen.
more you said it, like the more you keep saying, like, I'm okay with it, I'm starting to feel like anxiety.
Yeah, because your body's saying, don't even talk about it. I
Right?
can feel that it's in the kidney. So what I want you to notice is there's a phobia. Now, phobias are irrational. Irrational. It's like you do not need to be afraid of that. But because of the environment and things like this, I'm taught that I'm supposed to be afraid of something that I don't really need to be afraid of. Okay.
Right.
So it sits there. And I said, all right. So this is why I record. Phobia. Okay, so kidney phobia. And as I'm looking at this, they're telling me yes. So if I again mirror, I say phobia, yes. And so I'm going to check the kidney, and it's phobia. So I asked him, yeah, it's both sides. So what you're going to do is look for, you may have to use some tool to help you get here, but the first tool would be your fingers. It's T1. It is exactly where this particular parts meets, right here. That's your cervix. Go down. It's right at that shoulder level. And you're going to tap, and you're just going to breathe in and out and feel that anxiety or feel that phobia. Feel that financial instability. Okay. Now, I want you to also imagine as you're breathing in and out, it's out here. It's out here. And then it's like towards you, and then it's like and then because she wasn't, she learned that she has to be afraid of it. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. Now you're going to take that and do the same thing, but this time you are going to go down to T5. Now T5 is kind of like right at or above the hump in that area. Okay, so just kind of think if it's in that area. And if you can't do it with your hand, then take your tool.
Okay. I got the brush.
Both sides. Okay, good. Do both sides of the spine if you can.
Okay.
Okay, so she's going to breathe in and out. And instability, financial instability. She knows what that is. I have to have a phobia. It's got to be irrational. It's got to have. You have to have it. It's every step of the way. Oh, very good. Now the last one you're going to do is 8. T8. Now T8 is just past the hump, so you may have to come up from the bottom. I don't think you can get there. And tap 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 tap. Yeah. Okay. Now, see, I already feel that she's got the spot. She's breathing in, and I can feel it, which is a good thing. Very good.
It's almost feeling like you're getting a tap on the back, or you know how you need like a back rub, or it's going to be okay type thing. But the
Oh,
tap on
yeah.
the
Good
back
job.
feels like that.
Okay. Now, at some point, you could actually measure financial instability because you said, I can feel. Is that particular feeling still present?
Just a smidge, I think. Only like
Smidge.
a little
Okay.
bit, but it's going.
Okay. So I'm just going to jump there because, I'm demonstrating at the same time, but I also look at it's stuck at your reproductive system. And so, where your coccyx is in that sacral area, right at the bottom of the tailbone, right in there. Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to get in there and tap,
Okay.
hit it with your hand or whatever you want to do. But I want you to feel, I wonder if there's some, hold on, let me see if there's any specific, petrified. I'm petrified. So our bodies match and mirror. We do mirror neurons, and she was 3 years old. And if they're panicking, if they're doing any of that, the body, the brain, is going to pick up these signals and match and mirror. And this is what I'm supposed to do if I have financial trouble.
I felt better. Yeah.
Okay. Woof. Now, all right. So, okay. Now I'm just watching her recalibrate, and as that's happening, I'm looking at if I'm going to muscle test, you could do it too if you wanted, but I'm looking and say, I'm okay with financial instability. And if you can muscle test the best you can, tell me what if your arm goes down or stays up.
Stays up.
Okay, that means that we have neutralized.
Yeah. I actually, after I finished tapping down by the end of the slide, I went from feeling anxiety to smiling. So it released. So yeah.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you can tune in and give me your descriptors. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that when you start, hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. It's about ready to die. Beautiful. So sometimes we can panic when we look, but do we need to panic or can we go, okay, I'm going to take care of this?
Mm-hmm.
You've had some interesting things in your life where you've had been in certain situations where you're supposed to be so effing afraid, like living in a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And you've proven to yourself beyond measure that, what am I actually scared about? Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing because then you can begin to notice. I'm just looking for my other cord here. Oh, there goes my Facebook account, just flying all over. Oh, well, hold on. The blue one. You have to find how to plug yourself in. Do you have to panic before you find the right tool?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. No, and I feel like if you used to panic, but you found that what you're made of, and they said they want you to. I'm just going to say, oh God, this is interesting because I'm feeling your pain. I feel like old stuff. So you have to be self-conscious about what other people think that you're in a situation in. And again, if you were to say, I'm okay with what other people think of me, and you can test. Now, it dropped. Now, as this is happening, I can feel that she doesn't have unrequited love. This woman loves, but she don't always get the love back.
Right.
Okay. But somehow that unrequited love is connected to this self-conscious. So her RTJP says, see, I don't have it and I don't expect it and I would love it, but so I'm looking at self-conscious. It's not the same as somebody being self-conscious and feeling nude. This is a little different, okay? You know that the only love that you equal to is just judgment. Okay. And now what I'm going to just have you do, it just makes it easier for me, is to just have you go T3. So you kind of understand what I'm talking about. So T3 and T6, you're talking about more at the very top of the curve, more of the top of the curve, and in the middle, and just tap away. And then T3 and T6 is what I want you to do, because as I check her point here, this energy field is down, so she's always constantly feeling vulnerable. I want that to come back up. And as she's tapping and doing this and breathing in and out, I'm going to go over to the where unrequited love is, meaning I want you to love me, but I can't see you love me. And so this is where then panic and fear can askew when somebody gives her love. Now, when she's done with that, she's going to go down to L5. Now, L5 is a doozy. It has a lot of things in it. But L5 is right at the hips. If she were to measure hips and she'd go in the back, it's right there. So she's going to tap L5. Same thing. Yep. So just get in there and start tapping. Oops, right here. L5. Just some of the people that don't see it. L5. Now, do you have back issues? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so understand that your brain tells the nervous system and then goes out to every single organ, gland, and every area of the body. And if the information is in limbic and amygdala, fear and emotions, then the signals are not going to say, let's keep this body healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go into the story.
Right.
Now, as you are going to go down, I want you to re-hit L5 and say unrequited love.
Okay.
Your self-conscious, unrequited love. Ugh. That doesn't mean bad. It just means I can feel.
I know.
It's just a strange thing, but yes.
You're right. Kind of
Okay.
like energy moving.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. So as she's doing that, I'm looking and saying, I'm okay being self-conscious. It's not a big deal. I'm okay with unrequited love. And if I tested before, it would have definitely been no, I'm not. But the body nerves are neutralized right now. And
Yeah.
I feel I'm feeling stronger. I don't know about you, don't want to put words in your
Yeah.
mouth.
I
So
am.
what are you noticing?
The smile that I got after the first release is actually bigger after this release. So thinking about this weekend coming up and about some other things, the bills that I was worried about is gone.
Oh,
I'm like happy with thinking about them. Like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna work out. No worries.
that's excellent. So again, there's part of me that wants to start doing a program on finances and weight loss and
Mm-hmm.
all of this. But yes, okay, thank you so much. I totally
Thank
appreciate you
you.
coming on.
Thank
We thank
you.
Miss April Lynn for the PIF.
Yes.
It forward, and I appreciate you again. This was very much
It was
spontaneous.
fun. I liked it. It was something different. A new
Yes.
healing tool. I like it.
So we're just going to keep adding because we're working with the 4 bodies, and I love to be able.
Cool.
I love how you're able to go. Whoa! I feel, and I can
Yeah.
see a smile on my face. That my thoughts were. 41 thoughts were not into that worry. That's excellent. Oh, good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
All
I'll
right,
let you
Alexa.
know. Thank you
We'll
so
see you
much.
tomorrow. Yep. See you in tribal.
Tomorrow. Yes.
Yep. All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, are we still getting anything out of this? Hopefully more people want to gravitate to actually wanting relief, getting relief, and getting to where they need to be. So if you're in the room, please give me a thumbs up and hit a subscribe. If you have had a reading from me or want to watch any of this, go on over to YouTube, Medicine Woman Soultion. That's Soultion. And you can watch all of the old videos because they'll be new to you. So enjoy. Give a thumbs up, make a comment or two. This helps so that I can do this movement to help people learn how to live in their body, how to be in charge of their life, and how to become their conscious self. So how to become a spiritual human, which has nothing to do with religion. Okay, now is there anybody in the room that's new that has not had a reading before? Please let me know. So somebody had asked a question and oh, it disappeared. What the A? So that was bizarre. Just as I was about ready to read it, it's gone. Somebody says, how do you handle negativity? Anybody, did any of the moderators look at Facebook and notice that somebody wrote a question? I don't see it. Ooh, it's gone. Well, that sucks because it would have been a great question. I only got part of it because only half of it showed. Something about negativity. How do you stop negativity from your space? Well, you do. This is what I found out. This is why it's, hold on. Oh, oops, hold on. I need to get to work. How do you not take in? Okay, so it's not really about taking on as much as how do you not take the negative energy from someone that is creating it in the environment? How do you prevent your brain from getting triggered? That is such a wonderful message. Good question, I mean, and a message, because this is what you're going to get. Okay. Oh, my thing just restarted. Okay. To answer this is why Tribal Basics. You can get it on my website, or you can also get it off of my YouTube channel, and it's free. There's no sound, but it walks you through. And what it does is that you move the energy, okay? And you balance the energy and you protect your energy field. When your brain starts to consciously have an alarm, you can do the healing tools such as EFT, OMG, and if you have more of the advanced tools like the pH, which I haven't created it yet, but pH balance or the 6S's or SP. But it is in the changing the beliefs, taking the emotional chemical peptide off first and changing the beliefs. So your belief says, I am taking in negative energy. Yes, you'll see the negative energy, but if you have a belief, you can disrupt this belief and cause the body, nervous system to go neutral so that you can learn how to hold a cup of peace while it's chaos out there. Now, if they're throwing it at you, you can also feel and then learn to heal, and that allows you to be in your cup of peace, and it stops and drops into just outside your aura. Okay, so there's different ways of communicating and healing with your consciousness, with every part of you, that can take you to a more calm place. So if you're not your programs, you're 95%, you can be your 5%, which is your spiritual self, your consciousness self, and you can become aware when you shift. And we teach you all this. I mean, Tribal teaches you this, and it's also a cheaper way to get healings done, and knowledge is passed on. Okay. Oh, there is a comment, but how do I get to it? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so I don't know if Joanna's still here, hopefully. But anyways, there's beginning steps. If you have, taken on this negativity and all of these things, the question then becomes, can you change the belief systems? These tools do help. But you also have to just not insert it. You have to disrupt how you will go into the construction of creating all of these things. And so it's important that how am I being? So if you feel, you have to learn when you're stressed. You have to learn when you're giving a very survival answer. And if you begin to tap and to heal and you get to change this, it will help you tremendously. So when I say confusion, I know when I've had somebody die on me, I was confused. Why did they die? How'd they die? But it's not just my confusion. It could have been the confusion of the people in the house. So I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused at the time because my mother's confusion was she just got a phone call saying that her son is in the hospital and he was in a car accident. So that energy, boof, in the environment, boof, was like atomic bomb. And it had, I could feel it. Any child reads energy. So I'm feeling it. And it will be labeled confusion. It's not why am I confused? It is, I know what confusion is. And it's not, and to solve the confusion, that's when you ask the where, when, why, and how. And if you cannot resolve it, then your thoughts are going to constantly be pushing. But if, it's up to you how you choose to develop from there. So here you are in this moment that all passed. I gave you a point to take care of the confusion, but to understand confusion, this is why I also teach, is an emotions class that has to do with understanding them. And your definition of confusion in this state is to think this thought next to this thought, next to this thought. I don't want you to do that. I want you to go, how do you know what confusion is? And it is chaos, or it is, I don't know what's going on. It's not answering the question. It is to be in the thick of it. And that's when you hold these points or tap out these points that then the brain says, oh, I don't have to over-identify with confusion. I do not have to. So we create a disrupt, a tsunami in the brain that says the brain does not have to. The brain can stop getting into the amygdala and the limbic, and it can actually go into the frontal lobe to create reality, and it can go back to the cerebellum, and everything can be more cohesive. Good. So your understanding is when I don't understand something. Good. And that's where you can measure it. And you're like, but I don't have an experience. But if you look back and you have a fresh experience, you say, thank you, Spirit. What happened? Go look it up. What is, for instance, what is confusion? So you have your thoughts, you have other people's thoughts. If we were to go into and say, in the dictionary, uncertainty about what is happening, intended or required. So uncertainty. So there's this uncertainty. So if we go a little bit further and say, okay, what is uncertainty? If we were to look up uncertainty, then it is a state of being uncertain. And so it's unpredictable, it's unreliable. So there's a little bit of fear. So you have a seed of doubt, the seed of fear. And the thing is that the seed of doubt is what can make you go into fear more, or it can change your mind. But in the state of confusion, if you were to heal out how you know that, just be in that moment, don't jump anywhere else, but in that moment, and you begin to heal out the chemical peptide, you don't have to follow and run to the end of your timeline or into conclusions or which is survival is to go left brain, whittle everything down to one conclusion and point fingers. Now remember, one finger pointing to out is three pointing back. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, three that are pointing back. And in the state of programs, it is to look outside. But for us, it is to understand where am I consciously being and how I can read these energies. You can disrupt these. You do not have to believe these fears. I have been healing so that even in the 11th hour, you swear to God something bad is going to happen because you have everything lined up. And if you can take yourself out, you tap, you heal, you predict how people are going to act, you change these different perspectives and you take your energy off them and you can feel the relief, then it actually changes and reverberates out. And the bad thing that's meant to happen is that everything just kind of reestablishes to a higher good. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen the way that you just predicted. You do not have to put the prediction into the future. It literally stops so that you're open to the quantum law of attraction. And that says I can go to the quantum field instead of pick what I've chosen. I can be open up to something that's more of a healthier alignment. Okay, so because you're pulling yourself out of fear. Now, pay attention. That's one of the things. And when you begin to become in charge, it is dismantling the chemical peptide. Because if you didn't dismantle the chemical peptide, then you can go hours and hours and hours and keep talking, and that just makes your brain worse. We want good health, brain health. Good brain health creates good body health. Okay. Okay. So that's where we are. Now I'm gonna double check. I haven't checked, but I don't think anybody else has paid, but I'm gonna double check anyway. I haven't done that. But we've learned a lot today, and we're gonna do more in tomorrow in tribal, which is good. Okay, it's not opening. Why? Oh, it has. It's slow as. You're welcome, Deb. Good to see you. There we go. It's just la 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 la. It's just dancing in. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll have to wait just a moment or two, a little bit longer. Yep, there we go. We got it. All right, nobody else has, even though I had offered that. There's still that offer. If you wanted to pay 15 and want to come on and just do audio, that's fine. We could tap into using the new pH balance tool. That's up to you. You got a few more minutes to decide. I'm going to go and give my next pain and energy exchange guest. Talk about lack of words. Anyways, I just sent her the link and she will be with me momentarily. Okay. Anybody getting anything out of this? Anybody getting anything out of this? Because I like the new name, pH balance. It's physiology, healing, our physiology, health, balance, or healing balance. Not sure about a lot. Good. Thank you for participation. And so this is where when we see, especially last week, you can forgive yourself or give others and I mean, it would. I don't know if it was just if that was over for me, or if that is just over for everybody. But my part was fine, but then it was like, how does the environment affect you? And do you lose it that way? So there's different ways of last week. So it was bizarre. Hi, how are you?
A whole lot better than I was.
Okay, so you've had a really interesting week. And sorry to hear about what you sent me. And brand new, and they cracked already.
I went and put the old ones in because
Okay,
they had hardlined them so that the crack doesn't crack. The new ones, 6 months old. These broke at 6 months.
we know you have been having problems with your teeth, and especially the bottom ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to look, and we're going to use the pH balance tool. And let me just look here. There's something specific I have to look for. Okay, I gotta, they're pointing out words, so that means I gotta play the little game here. And so that's what I shall do, I suppose. Okay. Say, you put your arm out. Can you muscle test? Are you okay with that? Whichever arm. Okay, we
I
do it
I gotta do it this way.
Yeah, because again, we can alter it because she has had shoulder surgery, so she knows this. So first, I want you to, so we know we have a good testing arm. Say, I'm okay with God.
I'm okay with God.
Okay, so now say, now we're going to find out. And so that was actually her. She is an incongruent. Her nerves are saying something different. I want you to touch here and say, I'm okay with God, and then test again.
I'm okay with God.
Interesting. And I said, is this the correct answer that I'm getting? So why'd you have me go there? So there is this deficiency. Say, I'm okay being deficient in front of God.
I'm okay being deficient in front of God now.
Now say I'm okay being deficient in front of God.
I'm okay with being deficient in front of God.
Interesting. It locks you up. I have to figure this out. I got to get back onto, give me 1 second. This kind of froze up, locked down for some reason. So I got to get TikTok back up and running in the one. And this has something to do with it. It's the connections. Spirit, what are you talking about? I want you to touch here and then let go and say, I'm okay being deficient in front of God.
I'm okay being deficient in front of God.
Okay, so it's part of the stress. So this should have gone down, but because you're getting mixed signals, it'll take you offline. So now we have to go here. So the question I want you to do, or where I want you to go. Okay, so you'll have to get your little hairbrush or whatever it is. We have to go T7 and T9 and T11. So we know that it is right in here. Okay, so just in case. So we're using the nervous system of the spine that is connected to our organs to do this pH balance. MWS is pH balance. Ooh, I just got a crack in my back. Very good, very good. When I ask while we're doing this, I want you to check here again and say, I'm okay with being deficient in front of God.
I'm okay with being deficient in front of God.
Okay. And now put your arm out saying, I'm okay being deficient in front of God again. And keep your arm there, but just now, again, we're just reestablishing something else.
I'm okay with being deficient in front of God. Oh.
Okay, so that means we have another link. Is there anything frozen? Okay, so the environment. The environment. Okay. So you have to be, your requirement to being in this family is to be deficient. Now, I'm okay being deficient because it's a requirement to be in this family.
I'm okay with being deficient because it's a requirement of being in this family.
Okay. Now, when that has occurred, we are going to then have you go under the right boob, right there. And then you're going to test the same thing. I'm okay with being deficient. Okay. So with that in place, we have to correct that first. So you're going to do at the top T1, and then you're going to do T5. And then, of course, you'll have to get your little brush or whatever and get T9. And if you don't have a brush, you can just go through a door jamb if it requires just the top and not the bottom. Because you can't sometimes do the arch on a door jamb, but you can get L5. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Okay, so we're using a new healing tool. MWS's new healing tool to work on the physiology of the body.
Oh, it's a shift.
Okay, so yes. Say, oh no, I effed up. So I'm okay effing up.
I'm okay effing up. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's connected to being required. So if I said, touch here, say, I'm okay.
I'm okay. No.
Okay, so with that, you are going to do T3 and T6. So it's just, you know where that's at, right? Okay, so it's T3 and T6. It's right in this upper part here. And now, again, this is her working on her theme, her soul theme about being deficient. Okay. And, oh, touch this and say, it's okay. I'm okay with.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now say, I'm okay being policed.
I'm okay being policed now.
Now, it's interesting because it's directing to the father more than the mother. So now we're talking is it just gender? So your environment in the relationship is that you males don't like you.
My dad was a cop too.
Well, you're used to being policed for sure. Say, I'm okay being policed by a man.
I'm okay being policed by a man. No.
Okay, with that in mind, we're going to say, we're going to do, let's check the whichever left or right, do one at a time and say, I'm okay being policed by a man.
No.
Okay, so in this case, you're going to hold that in your mind and then you're going to go over and you're going to do, because there's a right and left, they both blue, you have to go T1 and T2, so you can tap both of those. You can do, however you can do it. And once you're done with that, you have to go to 8 and 9. So that's in the middle of the back. In the middle, I should be showing the bigger one in the middle. And then you have to do the lumbar, which is be L2 and L3, just above the hips.
Dr. TT is paused.
It just crashed. What the F and K? It didn't just crash. I think the power died. I think there's no power going to it. Even though I was charging, somehow it stopped charging. So that one's gone. It's almost at the end of the show. I have to wait for it to charge back up. I think I have to
I was
get
the
it.
only one in there, so.
Yeah, I think that I have to, what you call it? I think I'm gonna have to get a new cord. I think there's something wrong with this cord because it should charge and it's obviously stopped. Even though it says charging, I don't think it's quite. But see, now this one says it's charging, but probably charging slow. But this one, this cord is doot, 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 doot. Okay, I'll swap. Hopefully I won't make that one die. It's a few bits charging there. I just got to go to the store and buy me one. Very good, very good. Now, now I want you to say, what was my phrase?
Okay, being by
Please by email.
they're
Very
both
good.
strong.
Notice it did something to your sinus.
Mm-hmm. But it itches actually.
Okay. So when I look at this, so now you're gonna take your tongue or your intention and place it, and not here, but on. You're just gonna imagine that you're placing it on the crack. The crack.
Oh, okay.
You had the crack, and then we're going to check that crack. Okay, so even though this is not the right one, okay, there. See, there you go. Now we're gonna look again, and then we're going to take and check the lung and check that crack there on the lung. See, crack, lung, and then do the other side. Now say, I have the compulsion to F up.
I have the compulsion to F up.
Now check that crack this and say the phrase. Both sides.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go back to the same thing again. We're going to tap T1 and 2, 8 and 9, and then L2 and L3. And it's interesting because so in our spine we have these muscles called spontaneous muscles. I probably said it wrong, but they're like levers. And so when they'll connect to the higher or they connect to the lower, but my T1 always kind of wants to jack up my SI as well as my L5. And then the one in my neck will pull down and it's like, what? And I can feel like that's for you. It's like some area of your mouth, some area of your neck, it's meant to yank. So now as soon as we do that, then check at here. Okay, well, when you're done, check this up. Okay. Now I want you to touch the thyroid. And I want you to say, or don't say anything, just check the tooth against the thyroid. Check this against the crack. And then check the under the triple warmer button. If alarm is under, and then check the crack. So your whole body is in a state of panic. And I'm just going to ask, does it steal? It takes it from the large intestine and the spleen. Okay. So knowing this, you are going to tap C1, C2, and T1. You don't even have to have words for this. When I look to say, what is the emotion? It is you're duressed. And then the other one is gaslit, which is two different things. But it's like you have to believe the world. And if you don't, they'll duress you to believe their reality.
Oh, there's a Michelle watching on YouTube and she's enjoying this. It's the first time she's been watching.
Who?
A Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. I can't. It's not showing up. So, but that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I was checking something and then I forgot what I was looking at. 30%. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. Oh, yeah, I got to get a new cord for this so it's not charging my phone. Now, check the points.
Let's see.
The cracked, yeah. Yep, the crack. Very good. Ooh. So we have another story that goes with that, but check the bottom one. Okay. So we're going to do, was it this one?
This one.
The thing is that we're going to go to the adrenals. So I think they're both in that adrenal area. And this, remember I told you it was about duress and gaslight? This is that coercing to some degree, but it is really the duress. I mean, pushes you to the limit where you have to have learned helplessness, everything. So it's in the adrenals. I want you to tap T7, 9, and 11. Okay. Why doesn't it show up on my thing?
You might have to refresh it.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? If you've never had a reading here before, you can have one. Oh, I see. And oh, I love this. First time watching, really enjoying it all. Wonderful. This is not how I normally do it. Spirit usually talks first, and then we do different types of healing. But I'm introducing a new healing tool that helps the physiology of the body, and I'm glad to see it. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe. That'd be great. And you can watch all the old videos, and then you can really.
And they're very interesting. I've watched them all at least twice.
Good. That helps get my ratings up so that we can create a movement to help people understand they can help heal themselves. Now, just by doing that, you're shifting. So give it a second. It's different signals going up and down the brain, from the brain, with the spine. You can't even sit straight. Do you notice how you have to go? So we have to wait. We have to wait. I want so we're just that's good. Now, I remember how we were checking the tooth and then we checked here. Check it again, and then check the one down here and the crack that you had in see. Check again. Okay, so this compulsion to whatever it is that to follow and obey the duress, to follow and obey their gaslight. We should have checked this before, but I want you to put your arm out and say, "I'm okay being gaslit." Doesn't mean she has to be gaslit.
I'm okay being gaslit.
Okay, so she still has something there. I'm okay being duress because we're not asking
I'm
for
okay
yes
being
no.
duressed.
So we worked on duress, but we didn't. We have to now work on gaslight. But so you understand that the body does not, your brain does not have to keep scanning. Now it will scan, but you do not have to look for in fear that. Okay, so we're helping to evolve the
physical.
Yeah, the survival mechanism. Now here we go. Ready? You're not okay. So the incongruent, your nerves are saying, I'm incongruent. I'm not okay being gaslit. And if I said, where do you want to do? And they said, believe it or not, it's the adrenals again. So in this case, I want you to, where do you want to check here and say, because it's I am okay being gaslit. You check here and then muscle test.
Just here or here and here?
No, just here for right now.
I'm okay being gaslit now.
Check this one. We're looking at the burners of the body. And then the last one on the belly, down by the belly button. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think gaslit and then I just quit. Hit gaslit and then do T7, T9, and T11 again. Okay. Let me check here. My phone is falling over. All right, I got to build me a different surface there. All right, let me see if I can build this back up. And now let's see if I can get this to, and there goes my phone again. Okay, one don't want to stay plugged in. The other one doesn't want to stay balanced. What the F? Go live. So that did disconnect. This one, it is dropped. So it's supposed to be charging and it cannot. So that cord, there is something wrong with that cord. So it's not for those phones. So it's probably a good cord, just not strong enough. They got fast cords, slow cords. Well, I'm not going to be much longer anyway, so I'm okay with that. Somebody I think just paid, which means Autumn sent for a reading, and that's good. And we will get to Autumn in just a moment. Okay. Mm-hmm. So notice it's just the gender of a male. Okay. So it will be very interesting to see if your scalar field, the friendship, the relationship one, if you have to, because you always have to show up as to believing or making somebody come to you and gaslight you and duress you, and you have to show up that way. So if we're changing this part of you and we're changing the field, the energy field, now the field is where it creates reality. So if I were to the field around my finger, my cells know to be a finger. So this is the same thing, is that if we change the field to be a higher frequency, then you will memorize yourself to be in that state. Okay. Oh, there's this strange delay in a pull. Why is there a pull? I have no clue.
Interesting.
I gotta feel like I gotta ignore you. It's like you don't exist. I don't know if you're becoming an echo. What is this? What is this? Okay. Do you have problems with your SI joints?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're gonna tap L3 and L5, but your pituitary. So to just touch that, just touch whichever SI joint, then go up and touch this and muscle test. Ugh. Okay, sorry, that energy was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you don't have to test both sides, but I want you to hold that in your mind, and I want you to tap L3 and L5 and think SI joints. Now, what I'm getting from that is that because the pericardium, that meridian has a lot to do with the blood. It has to do with the muscles. It has to do with the responses. It has to do with the pericardium itself. And what I'm getting is that you're supposed to stay in the state of overwhelm in order for them to know that you got it. Okay.
Yes.
So as I'm over here, what happens is that your body's doing this, but you're like, I can check out or disassociate as this happening, and I'm not creating that environment for her. She's displaying so I can see this, but if I were to watch her in live action, then it would probably be very obvious. Okay. All right. So, oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, so that's the language of communication in the scalar field. So, did you touch L3 and L5?
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to do is I want you to touch your SI joint, and I want you to muscle test.
Yeah, there's still something there. It's not a
Hold on.
complete
Hold
drop.
on. Okay. Now I want you to touch it and say overwhelm and then test.
Overwhelm.
So now we're going to directly say overwhelm and taking the blame.
Overwhelm and taking the blame.
All right, now I want you to go and tap the L3 and L5 and think SI joint. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining.
Mhm.
All right. Now, when I'm looking at this, I can see your body, your nerves are supposed to put you in the decomp state. So you had one hell of a ride since last Monday for you.
Mhm.
Okay, so in this case, they want you to test. You were testing this one, I think it was. What I want you to do is test somewhere else. Give me a second. I want you to test my brain again. Your brain is like, don't look, don't look. So you kind of don't want me to do this. So I got to ask, is this a safety blanket? No, this is her deficiency talking. But do on a soul up, yes, I can. And it's about the scalar field. Okay, so I'm going to say, tell me what. And it's so funny because I know where to go and what to do next. But it's like, so the energy is like very scared. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Just breathe, just breathe. Again, you're not allowing me to see how to check. So take a look at your chart. You got to give yourself permission and look for the PC point. And I believe we're going to be checking the PC two ways. One, I believe it's down by the right or left point near the hip. And then we're going to do directly on the coccyx in a minute. Okay, so you have to, I cannot do this. You have to give me permission, but not to me. You have to see if you can follow through.
Okay, so I'm looking for the
See, listen, you can't even take instructions. So,
exactly.
alarm. Do you have the alarm page?
Yep.
Look for pericardium or reproductive system.
Okay, that's the one that's like right here.
Okay, you can do that one. Now, I want you to go to the coccyx. You know where that's located. Tailbone. Touch that. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to say overwhelm and taking the blame. You're crossing two fire ones.
Overwhelmed, taking the blame.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to tap the coccyx. Very good, very good. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is to touch that point. Say overwhelm and
taking the blame.
very good. Now touch the coccyx and say the same thing and then test. Hi. Okay, I think that's, yeah, I think now we're going to end this because I've given you quite a bit of time and but this is helping me. Thank you very much for paying. She paid for a full, and so I just wanted to give her extra time. So now what I want you to do is, can you describe like April and Teresa did? Like, you didn't realize there was a before.
No, I didn't. I feel lighter. I feel a different vibration within my being.
Okay.
There's like a different sensation. It's lighter. Looking at what stories popped up, I don't have to believe those.
Very good. What did it do? Did you heavy or light?
Light,
Like I noticed with Teresa, it was emotions and smiling.
it actually worked on the physical because earlier I dropped a card when I was live and I reached down and it's a movement that I haven't done yet. So it pulled on that muscle and that muscle was sore and it's not sore right now like it was.
Oh, good, good. Okay, so just understand that when you start to normally how you would approach things and you start noticing a different, start witnessing so that your brain can say, I don't have to keep producing or reinserting the old stories. Okay?
That's so true. You don't want to reinsert the old story and you want to let it go.
Yeah, and resume back to joy and happiness. And
Yes.
so because your
Learn
conscious.
to miss yourself is what we all need to do. Learn to miss your authentic self.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll see you tomorrow in Tribal. Okay.
Absolutely.
Love you. All right.
Love
Bye.
you too. Bye.
Now we're going to go to Miss Autumn. And Miss Autumn, I got to check to see. Okay, you didn't leave me any instructions, so it must be spirit choosing. Is that correct, Miss Autumn? Okay. So if that's the case, we'll use potential hydrogen, potential balance, pH balance, pH balance, the new healing tool. And we're going to do this towards working with the nerves, but I feel like this was more of why you had to have a stroke there. So I'm just being pulled in this direction. Is that okay with you? Is she here? Miss Autumn, are you here? Miss Autumn. Okay, so she's in YouTube land, and hopefully she will be able to respond. It depends on if you're watching, you'll see a red bar. If your red bar is not at the end, you may want to slide it to the end so that you can catch up. So the lag is less. The lag is less. So I noticed that again, I got to get a new chord. We're down to 27, which isn't too bad. Very good. So there she is. Okay. So what we're going to look at is your adrenals. Oh, they're showing me two things in your pancreas. The weirdest thing, they're telling me that the signal from the brain going down is like they're tied together. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't understand this. All right, so do we need to do, we're just going to do potential hydrogen. It has to do with the egg, the central. It's like stuck, Miss Autumn. So I'm asking, what do you want? And it is you, them. You felt that at the time when you, whatever it is that you, when you had it or whatever, there was this rejection from the environment or people or doctors or whoever. And what happens is you felt their energy, and it's just like stuck. You got caught in the middle of what they were feels. That's a lot of twos for you. And so if that's the case, then you're saying, what about me? So I'm watching this. Now I'm going to say, I want you to think of, because you've had that experience, the stroke, because you know the word stroke. I want you to think of stroke. And I don't know if you can muscle test or not, but just kind of like muscle test with yourself. But what I'm getting at is I can see that it's about the stroke. So what I want you to do is you can probably touch here and say stroke. I'm getting that the mirror is saying that you there's a weakness, but I want you to go to T3 and T6, and that would be, let's see, on this screen here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like right at the top of the shoulders and like right at that hunch part. Okay. This is what we're doing. Right here is where she's going to tap. And then she's going to just tap. Ugh. And because we have to separate these two particular energy fields. They're meant to be. Oh, yeah, that would definitely be. Yeah, so there's rejection. Okay, so now I've got to separate the rejection. Right now I can see the rejection in both these areas, which makes it look like it's linked. Now, when you're done with that, let me know. And then I'm going to go, we have to remove the rejection. And in this case, we're going to go very specific. Okay. All right. So my understanding to separate this, because I'm looking at the HPA, and it's noticing that there's something going on with this. And so you're going to, again, I can't tell the delay, but C2, C5, and T1. So you're talking about right up there, C2, C5 and T1. So it's right up in there, okay? So it's right up in here. This is where you're going to be doing some tapping. Okay, one hand, but I think whatever you can get in there. Do your best. Oh, whatever it is, it could be that too. But at the same time, just get in there and tap. Just get in there and tap, because the word rejection is creating a strong confusion, which when I look at the energy, how the brain goes down, all of a sudden I'm confused between two parts of your body. And we need to help the body the physiology to come back into being congruent. That's what I want. So if I were to look at the pituitary, it's just not done yet. So I'll wait another second or two. I hope you guys did enjoy today's program. You can always watch it on YouTube, Medicine Woman Solution. Give a thumbs up, give a subscription, and watch the old, because it would be new to you. And most of the time it's still relevant, quite very relevant. Okay, so now, oh, we do have a separation, but we have to help the body, the brain, the spine. So once you've done that, you go to your think SI joint, your SI joints, on both sides, just say SI joints, and then you're going to tap L3 and L5, which happens to be in that lumbar part, and 5 is at the hips, so going up, so L3 and L5, and you're going to be tapping in that area in the back. Try to get both sides if possible. Very good. Very good. And something's definitely gripping up here. They're saying yes, yes. This burner, this burner, this burner. So have you ever had any thyroid issues? Because however it is, I want you to just kind of tap the thyroid and then go up and tap C1, C2, and T1, okay? Which is the C1, 2, and T1 is right at the shoulders, okay? And get in there and start tapping again. Oh, then I need you to drink water, because your electrical system is it's very interesting, because I'm watching these energies. I don't even think we even tapped into getting rid of rejection or changing the rejection yet. Okay, so in this case, it's others. So that means energy is coming at you, rejecting you. Okay, so others are rejecting you. Because of that, I want you then to, because your body's like, I can't do it again, I can't do it again. But it is, I can't do it again. You can feel their energy of rejecting you. So feel how the energy is coming in. And as we do this, we want you to work on T1, T5, and T9. So you're talking T1, T5, and then T9. Okay, so it's just right after the hip, on hit the hump, right on top of the hump or so, and then T1. And just so you guys understand, there's the T's, T1, T5, and T9. It's right there. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. I want you to think, if you can mouse test or if it doesn't, however it works, say, I'm okay being rejected on everything. I'm okay being rejected. I'm okay being rejected to being what you just wrote. I am okay of being rejected. You know, that they're like, oh, this is happening. because there's a non-acceptance thing happening. Okay. And I'm getting that your body's like, no, I'm not. This is a really huge incongruency for me. And because of that, I want you then to tap C1, C2, and T1. Okay, C1 and 2 and T1. So that in the neck area, Ah, see, I've been not reluctant, just the timing. But it's like wrapping my head around what does the brain do? What does the spine do? I mean, this is something that's been learning and building. And so I'm glad that you think it's fascinating because it does more of a according to certain philosophies that worked with these particular tools, the way they do it, they especially with an fMRI machine and the I think GGs, the way electromagnetic field, how they can do brain scans to see how the brain is working. They were amazed at how doing several treatments of whatever these people did would create an effect and literally pull you out of the limbic and and so more energy was in the frontal lobe, more energy was in the cerebellum and the body. Yeah. Okay. All right. So again, I'm looking at her and I'm asking if there's anything more we need to address at this point. And they said, you have to pay attention to how, as far as the evolution with your spirit, it says you're so used to being rejected and not accepted that you're always going to see people make you irrelevant, being left out, things aren't fair. But this is you going, wait a minute, this was based on that moment in time, the original thing when, really young. So she's, it's around within the few hours of you being born. And so if you're not able to measure, it's not one that you can really measure quite. I had every single day, for hours, spirit was like, oh, here's a person, here's a person, here's a person. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the weekend went, or the week and everything just went, and I'm like, where did it go? And I even got time to write this up. Woohoo! And so just pay attention. And then you don't have to believe your own BS. You don't have to believe your own thing. So once your body starts to do, your nervous system, the physiology becomes neutralized. It's not a yes or a no. It's because see, when I bumped into people that, well, if you heal that, it's a positive. I'm okay that they do this to me. Then that means they get to do this to me. No. Your inner world creates your outer world. If your inner world is based on with fear, and you're incongruent, that means you have to attract it in. But if we take the nerves and we become congruent, then the brain does not have to scan for or to look for that projection or make that projection happen. So we're literally changing the way this biosuit is working with your consciousness, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm ready to give you all of my material yet. Just so you know, just wait, just give me, I'll answer that later. Anyway, so do your best not to share it too much yet. I'm still in the throes of developing it and getting proof and knowledge, and I have been studying the brain like nonstop. I've been studying all of these other type of healers, these great pioneers before me, and how can I incorporate this with the knowledge that I have written with success in SP. So you can, yes, I'll do that, but yeah, you can even look it up. But yeah, that's where I got it from. And I'm looking for a better one too. So just looking for a better one. And anyway, I hope use your consciousness on them, become aware of things that might have changed. And you're like, oh, I normally would respond that way. Or, oh, I don't really feel like for instance, because her rejection card, that energy, like, I don't know, because I'm watching the energy now and I feel like your pancreas is over here. This energy is over here. I don't feel like they're intermingling anymore. And at the same time, I feel like you may feel like, oh, I can open that email. Somebody's going to reject me. I think even approaching texts and emails and any of that is like, you're not going to go, oh, something bad's going to happen. You're going to notice, if you're your conscious and self, you'll start noticing the things that you were so used to. I didn't do that. Okay. So thank you for honoring yourself. I gave you some extra minutes too. So thank you for letting me be here to help you. This has been a great show. I'm going to double check just to make sure nobody else is paid. No, we're good. And thank you all for this opportunity to work with and to see and to experiment as a consciousness being about how we can look at the world from a 3D, 4D, 5D perspective, and how we can use energy and tools without actually having to go buy 1,000 things and spend money. Facebook is asking, well, why is my screen gone? Hold on. Oh, okay. Facebook is talking, but hold on, Facebook. I don't know what's happening. So we're literally going to switch you here because I cannot see the words. How do you get the words back? Oh, I didn't even know they were gone. Looking for healing around letting go of past health. Hi, Michelle. Hi. Were you just over here or was that a different Michelle? No, different Michelle. So I got 2 Michelles in one day. Okay, so you're still here. Let me know. Say yes. I will give you a quick read. A quick read. Again, not sure why I did that, but I didn't mean to ignore you. There we go. I'm going to set you right here so it won't fall. How's that? And I just bumped this one. So hi, how are you? Let's get this one back into play. So I've got several things open at once. Michelle Freer Gray, are you here? If she's gone, whoops, I'm sorry. Oh, let's see. Sometimes the delay lag makes it terrible. Hi, Elizabeth, how are you? Hi, Karen. If you're looking for a free reading, there's a possibility that we can. How is this one coming along? It's steadily at 12, but it works. This one is still going down, but slow. There's Michelle. So there is that's a long delay. Okay, so have I ever read you before? Because there's several different ways I do a reading. You said I'm looking for healing and around letting go of certain health issues. Do you have a specific health issue? Because we can zero in. If we didn't, then I can give you a reading about why it's happening. I can give you a tool that can help you process emotions, or we can help. So kind of give me a little bit of a guidance of what you would like. Is just, like I said, we know it has to do with health, and you seem to be in a dark state of, this is the way my body acts. Good night. A dark state. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. So again, I got 2 Michelles. Good. So there's a certain amount of distrust. And so what I'm going to look at is this. Okay, so you said, hey, I'm consciously aware of my health. Okay, and as I did that, I'm getting that around 4 months old, in the environment, there was a lot of distrust. And the energy to you? No. I said, is it the energy from you? No. I am recovering from mental health, bad health for 14 months. See, now this is where I'm asking. So I'm looking at this, the environment. So about 14 months, it has to do with mental health. So I'm looking back and I'm seeing there's a certain amount of invading energy, just like I said, in the environment. So this is, I has to do with the scalar field, which means it has to do with relationships with people. And one of the things that occurred was, I'm feeling your body. It's like saying, I'm always made to feel like shit in relationships. Yes or no? Well, if you haven't, I don't know what tools you've used, but thinking it through, it just makes the brain worse. And then it does a deep root, or it covers it up, suppresses it, overcomes, but the root doesn't get taken care of. And therefore your body does a reaction. So I'm looking at how energy was boom in the room and how it affected you. And I said, what type of energy was in the room? And they just had, they couldn't tolerate. There was something about, they had great intolerance and da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden I said, well, let's go back. And they said, probably about the time I'm looking at a fresh moment, and I'm looking back, like you said, he was like 14, but I'm getting like 15 months, something in there. So you had a fresh experience with somebody in a relationship, and that energy entered your space. Okay, didn't just explode. That energy entered your space. I said, where did it enter? It entered into your liver. And it's like, you have to be, you better show me regret. I don't know what type of relationship you're in, but it's like, you better show me regret. And it's like a more of a gaslit thing that you're supposed to do. So this energy that come flying at you of intolerance, and then it's like the old program is, I'm going to have to behave this way. So now you got all of these clashing. So we have an incongruency with this. I don't know who you are, but what I'm going to need you to do is just follow along with me and trust a little bit. So I'm looking at this line here is supposed to keep it so you're not vulnerable, but this is wide down. It's just down and it's absorbing. That is very unhealthy. Okay. So I could just tell you to just take and draw straight up and then touch this, draw from the crotch straight up, do that 3 times, but that is only going to be temporary. We want something more lasting. So I want you to think of the event. I want you to think how the energy exploded. I want you to think of that event. And what you're going to do is I'm looking at how you're doing this. So we're going to do a measurement of 432. So that means we want it back down to 100. But the thing is, it's way over. So you're going to take, and it says T3, T6, and so T3 and T6. So you are going to tap your spine with your hand or with a tool, and you are going to look for T3, which is being the upper part. T6 is probably right with the bra liners or so, but you hit both sides, and you're going to tap like this. And I want you to breathe in and out, and I want you to think about that event with this person, or you felt that energy come in, okay? As you do it and tap, I want you to imagine that you're taking the energy out and put it into a treasure chest. So it doesn't spill anywhere. It's just being isolated, but pull it out. You can measure it. It's like, it's in there. It's a 10. Yeah, pull it out. And I feel like not only did it come in, but then they also place something on you and you're like, nope, got to get that out, get it out. And as you do T3 and T6, I want you to realize you need to call your energy back. Say, I call my energy back, okay? Because you had to give your pen to this person, or whatever the event was, and it has left you confused, and your body. So what's happening is the cell, you have 50 trillion cells, you're made up of a community, and the cell is meant to be open because it has love and health, and it eats, and yum, 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 nutrition. But when it's scared, it closes, and it pulls away. And the body can go even down to a shutdown state. And we want to get the body to say, I'm done carrying this energy from this person. So that's what we're doing. And now that you've done that, I'm looking at this and it's nice, staying nice and strong. And if you could measure your mental health right now, do you feel like, okay? Or do you feel because we have another tool for that. So if you can measure that you feel like shit, then I can help you do one more thing. But if you feel good, or however it is, because it's a habit, I'm watching this habit that you have to keep going there, the 41 thoughts. And you have to keep going there, and it's a loop. You can't stop it because the stress part of the brain, okay? So we're going to do this 2 ways. And if that's a yes for now, then what happens is that we're going to look at how you're supposed to be made to be deficient, and we're going to use a magnet on the body. So that means you're going to, if you can get to your right foot, you can get to the inside of your big toe, and you're going to go and tap just past that bunion bone there, and it's up just a little. Use your hand, palm is one way, flip it, so it makes a magnet. You're going to do it 24 times on each, or 12 times on each side, or 24 total. Okay, true, all true. Okay, so just keep doing this 24 times. And then when you're done, you deeply push in and you penetrate. Don't slide. Push in and just kind of pump and penetrate 30 times. And then when you're done with that, let me know. Okay. Okay. Because you have something else frozen. Okay. You become ungrounded. You become ungrounded. So once that's done, and once she says done, then I will give her another point, and then maybe another point after that, and then that'll be your reading. But you'll have to measure who was I and what I felt before. Do you feel the same way? Can you find descriptors of noticing? Is that light? It's better, or oh, I'm not as scared, or there's a smile on my face, or how, So when we're completely done, don't measure just yet. So in this case, when she's done with that, again, there's a great delay. You're going to go to the left foot, and it's just before the curve. It's right on top of the bones. Probably better yet if I use this one. It's right past the curve, right on top of the bone, right there. You're going to use a magnet, your hands. And you use your hand. You can use a business card magnet. Okay, and then you deeply push in and you penetrate the best you can, because there's a lot of bones there, but yet you still can manipulate it, still can do that. Okay, and then when you're done with that, say done, and then we can give you your one more thing that can begin to help. So we're going to help create a shift. We're going to get that little extra oomph. We're going to help that, because you said I could feel that okay, you can measure that, and 10 being the worst, and then let's see if we can get that down. And then when you're done with that, we will go to the spine. This one, it's the bottom one. Okay. All right, now what I want you to do is you're going to go to the spine, and you're going to tap down here below. We're going to look for T7, T9, and T11. So it's going to be all in here. And okay, so there's your hump, then it comes down before it gets into the lumbar, just above that. And you're going to do T7, T9, and T11. And really just get in there. And as you begin to tap that, I want you to say, I feel their startle. I feel their panic. I feel their anxiety. I feel it. It's invading. Now, if I said this was, no, so that's just that. Okay. I don't have to go any further. And then when you're done with that, just breathe in and out. And when you're done with that, just assess the mental, the emotional, that thing that you're like, it's still there, the thing that you wanted me to address. And then tell me, did it help? Did it not help? Did you notice any difference? Because showing up as a conscious being, noticing something's changed, you can help your brain begin to create a new reality instead of taking the old one, inserting it, and going there. Okay. Excellent. So we're going to give it a few minutes, and you can rewatch this over and over. Go over to YouTube and look for Medicine Woman Soultion. That's Soultion. And look for today's date, and you can watch it's in the live section. It helped very much. Thank you. So you know, right? Okay. So we worked on helping balancing the brain. We helped that particular time period so that you can get your brain out of fight and flight, so that you can get more into your frontal lobe and your cerebellum. And so that you can kind of show up differently. So it's a pH balance, which is physiology healing balancing, or physiology healing health balancing. So true as to why I didn't think of that. Okay. Well, this is my world, so hopefully this helps you understand that this is what I'm geared to, always studying and learning and helping. And sometimes we have incongruencies that we cannot, we don't think that we can heal, or because we're taught right from the get-go, there's something wrong with you, somebody else has to take care of it. And you can't heal. You can't heal yourself. Well, I debunk that. You do not have to. You can heal yourself. And all I did was guide you. You did the work. You chose it. And you understood the thoughts and the emotions. And that's good. Okay. Okay. So again, Michelle, you look for the timestamp on my screen, not the timestamp of my show if you were to rewatch it on YouTube. If you like it, if you like this type of material, subscribe. I do the show once a week. Okay. And thank you so much for letting me help. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's up to you about how you want your life. You are already blessed and you're already whole. Okay. So what I want you to do is understand that thank you is a hashtag. Thank you, Spirit. Hashtag. I don't have to believe my own BS. Hashtag resolve to evolve. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag when in doubt, heal it out. Okay, you can do that. You're already blessed. You're already whole. Somebody tells me that I have to check something, so I'm going to check something. Okay. Yeah, hashtag 1433. Okay, I'm good. I think everything else is good. Yes. All right. You're already blessed. You're already whole. So stay